As a Pilot Common Project, PCP, related operational stakeholder, you have the unique opportunity to apply for co-funding for your ATM investment plan through Sesar Deployment Manager, SDM. The SDM will guide and support you through every step of the funding process. Co-funding for your investments. PCP-related projects could be co-funded through the CEF Transport Programme 2014 to 2020, which identified a budget of up to €2.5 billion for the ATM industry to deploy Sesar under the coordination of the Sesar Deployment Manager and the oversight of the European Commission. Through this mechanism, calls for proposals are launched periodically in order to accelerate the process of ATM modernisation in Europe. Grants are awarded by the European Commission's Directorate General for Mobility and Transport with the assistance of the Innovation and Networks Executive Agency, INEA. This means stakeholders can apply for co-funding of up to 50% and even 85% where investments are eligible for cohesion funds. How can you apply for co-funding? The European Commission has approved the Deployment Programme 2015 released by SDM. DP 2015 is the reference and driver of the technical content for the CEF Transport Call for Proposals 2015. We will support you to ensure the best chance for your project proposals to be awarded a grant. Step 1. Send us your proposals. Declaring your interest to submit proposals to the CEF Call 2015 helps SDM assess coverage of the DP 2015, identify opportunities to invite stakeholders to merge their projects into one, and highlight gaps in DP 2015 coverage that requires actions by SDM ahead of the call to trigger projects to fill those gaps. SDM supports implementing partners even before the call publication to raise their awareness of the CEF objectives and call for proposal procedures, and we will keep supporting implementing partners in call for proposals responses preparation to optimise their alignment with the content of the DP 2015. Know that we will make sure you understand what it's all about. SDM runs workshops to explain CEF transport calls, the coordination process, the timing for proposal preparation, and the legal and contractual framework. We provide you with a full information package detailing all of the procedures and with supporting documents. Our videos and tutorials will help you understand the CEF transport calls and underpinning processes. By coordinating the implementing partners, we will increase your chances to be awarded. SDM acts as coordinator of all implementing partners' responses to the call for proposals. Participation to CEF transport calls through SDM coordination is mandatory for any candidate project which is PCP related in order to comply with CEF eligibility criteria and to assure full alignment with DP 2015. SDM will make sure the focus is on the identified gaps and assist you so that the evaluation criteria set out within the call and relevant work programme are met and CEF transport calls deadlines are respected. SDM will oversee processes for implementing project data collection and processing and all administrative and legal data collection to comply with INEA forms and requests, so you are able to focus on fine-tuning your projects to better meet your needs and align it with DP 2015. We will help you prepare the grant agreements. The evaluation and selection of proposals submitted under the CEF Transport Call 2015 will be carried out by the European Commission with the assistance of INEA and the support of independent experts. Following that evaluation, Member States through the CEF Coordination Committee will approve a list of proposals recommended for funding. Finally, SDM, as the coordinator of all proposals, will also coordinate the agreement's preparation to grant the awarded co-funding.
Wonderful. Now, after this video, it is time for our first presentation, our first speaker. Here to talk to us about CESAR Deployment Manager's support to CEF CALL 2015 responses preparation. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely, the intelligent, give her a warm hand, Paola Di Giovanni.
Good afternoon, everybody. So good afternoon to you that are joining the event with us today and to those that are following us in web streaming. As a number of people are here and according to the words that have been said by Massimo in the opening speech of this sneak review, there is a great ambition on the next call for proposal for the Connecting Europe facility. There are a real perception of potential benefit operational stakeholders and industry can receive by applying to the Connecting Europe facility. So I'm here today just to present you and provide you with some information on the general terms and elements of the Connecting Europe facility, but in particular to give you and to describe you the specific support services the SDM will provide to each of you to facilitate your accession to the financial support of the European Union. It is true, we have to set up a close cooperation. So my presentation will describe what you can expect from us, from the CESAR Deployment Manager as coordinator of the project proposal preparation, and what we have to do together to apply for funding. So the next one. First of all, as you, of course, will be aware of, the Connecting Europe facility is it is an instrument created by the European Union to facilitate and to support networks and infrastructure of telecommunication, energy, and transport sectors. A big amount of money is available for the financial years 2014-2020. 20.5 billion euros are there for transport modes, and 11.2 are there for those countries which are eligible for cohesion fund. The big amount of money which will help us, all the operational stakeholders and industry, to innovate and to render the air transport sector, the sectors as in general and in particular ATM, efficient, effective, environmentally friendly, and to support the growth of the European Union economy. Which is our interest on this big envelope is the amount of budget which is deserved up to 2020 to the air traffic management system, which is 2.5 billion euros in total for granting, financing, and other financial instruments. According to that, we know that we can apply to different threads, as I mentioned, which are covering overall European Union through the CEF funding and only a specific subset of operational stakeholders and industry, which are potentially applying for cohesion fund, which are those where the national income, it is less than the 19%, national growth is less than 90% of the average of European Union. As a matter of fact, there are important consequences in applying to the two different threads for those that are eligible, in fact, to the cohesion fund. The normal co-funding rate, which is 20% for airborne equipment and 50% of the eligible cost for ground infrastructure, raise up to the 85%. And there is quite an important thing that has to be clarified concerning the eligibility of the non-European countries. In fact, also entities from third countries may participate in projects of common interest, whether included in the scope of the common project, and in case they are considered necessary and indispensable for the realization of the pilot common project. So what are our expectations and why we are here today? The next call for proposal, which we expect to be published on the 4th of November, so in very few days, will give us the possibility to access to up to 515 million euros, plus 30 million for the Cohesion Fund eligible entity. And we will be the coordinator, being the responsible for the management level of the CESAR deployment governance. CESAR deployment governance has been set up to coordinate the execution of the pilot common project. It is made of 3 layers. One is the political layers under the responsibility of European Union. The second one is the management level under the responsibility of the CESAR deployment manager, which will ensure the synchronized implementation of common project. But the third level is made up of all implementing partners which are called to implement the pilot common project and to execute the modernization of the ATM infrastructure through the ATM functionalities included in the PCP. So why we are here as SDM? Because we have to be the coordinator of proposal preparation. We will support you in the different phase, which will go from the proposal preparation up to the final end of the project life cycle, from proposal preparation, which will start after call publication, up to the submission of the proposal. Following the submission of proposal, there will be the role of INEA and the European Commission for the selection of the project. That is quite important for us to underline today, that SDM will not participate to any selection process. It's completely a third party in the evaluation and selection phase, which is under control and responsibility of European Union. But once the project will be selected, such project will be then transformed in contract to specific grant agreements with European Union. And the CESAR deployment manager, in its role of coordinator, will support not just the proposal preparation, but also the SGA preparation phase. And we also act as coordinator for the execution of the project in the role of FPA coordinator. We will see afterwards the legal framework which is behind the SDM, and it is behind also the management of the funding from the European Union to the implementing partner. However, we are all partners of the same framework, and the role of the SDM will be to coordinate implementing partners in all steps, from proposal preparation to project execution and closure of the project. I would like also to stress that the role of the SDM is in coordinating the action funded through INEA. We will not be the coordinator of the single local implementation initiative, which will remain under your responsibility and will remain under your the responsibility to perform and to execute them. We will be acting as a single gateway towards INEA and towards the European Union in all the 3 steps. So, in fact, as mentioned by Massimo, since the deployment program is the reference for the CEF CALL transport for the ATM, the work that we have started to prepare the next call for proposal has been launched in July with the indication of interest. We are here in the sneak preview anticipating the call for proposal, because we want to share with you all the steps that are necessary for us to participate together, to build up a strong cooperation and to act as a team. We are here now following the results of what has been the indication of interest campaign that was not mandatory, was completely on a voluntary basis, but was important for us to understand the interest and ambition of the implementing partners in the future call. On the basis of the first information, we will then go through 3 different steps, which will be related to getting more detailed information on the implementation projects that you have initially presented to us, and to try to coordinate and integrate this implementation initiative in proposals which are structured against or in compliance with the deployment program structure itself. According to this clustering, which is quite an important step of our proposal preparation work, we will also initiate and launch the work of the proposal response preparation. Because as a number of you already know, the procedures for submitting project proposal to INEA is quite a complex one. It's made up of a number of information that has to be provided, both at different levels, and we need to support you not just and not only on the preparation of the description of your implementation initiative, but also in all the other elements that are necessary to submit a successful proposal to the call CEF 2015, of course, not 2020. So there are quite important roles that we have to share. There are something that you have to expect from us, and other tasks that has to be performed by you. So what will be the objective of the SDM in this phase? First of all, we are here to assist you, to provide you with all the information, clarification, guidance, and guide also you through a common roadmap so that your investment will be secured through being in compliance with the deployment program, being presented in accordance with INEA eligibility and evaluation criteria on the basis of which the results and the grant will arrive, to provide for complementarity of proposal, so groupings and clustering of proposal that are in line with the deployment program, and also secure the efficient time management of payments, in particular final payments, and the call deadline. It is not there just for curious things, because we know that it will be a very short time frame, a tight time frame for us, because there are numbers of stakeholders and the complexity behind is really high. And what will be instead your role? Since we have to coordinate you, that we have to receive from you a number of information which will enable us to support and assist you in the elaboration of the proposal. And we will come to you asking a number of information which are coming from different areas. Legal and administrative information on your organization, some information concerning declaration of compliance with European Union law and policy on procurement, environmental policy, and whatsoever. Financial information and operational information which refer to your specific company, as well as the most known technical information on the implementation initiative. Why these 4 blocks of information are so important for us and are so important for you to timely collect and provide. Because they correspond to the 4 parts of the application which is expected by INEA. So the formal request from INEA to answer and to present proposal responses to the call for the CEF 2015 is based on 4 forms. The first one, the part A, is the one that corresponds to administrative information, complemented by part B and part C, whilst only the part D is grouping and is grouping the information concerning the technical work to be performed by the proposal. I would like to stress the fact that these are forms that apply to the overall proposal. So in case of a cluster or different projects, these will have to be elaborated by the CESAR deployment manager on the basis of the information you will provide on the technical aspects and on the technical implementation initiative you will perform and you will implement in the next future from 2015, 2016, 2020. In particular, I would like to stress the fact that the description of the specific implementation project in the dimension of a general cluster of projects, so a common proposal to be submitted by a number of implementation projects, is an annex to the Part D. Why it's so important that? Because Part D will describe the general global project, including the needs and objective of the action. For us, the global project is, of course, the pilot common project, and in particular, the ATM functionality, which will be addressed by the number of implementation initiatives which will be grouped within a single proposal. Then there will be the description of the details of this action, providing also indication to the relevance of the action vis-à-vis the objective of the PCP, the maturity, both on technical, administrative, and legal terms, the impact of the action on technical, but also on performance and cost effectiveness, the quality of the action, and all the other information requested by the template. As a matter of fact, the IP template that some of you are familiar with because they have been used in the previous call for proposal have to be considered as an annex to the overall technical part of a proposal to be submitted in response to the CEF call. I would like just to go quickly through the IP template because I think it's important that all of us are really confirmed that these are essential for you to better describe and better plan your project according to the number of indications that are in response to INEA and European Union request. Because we need to receive that to populate properly, not just the description of the project itself, but the overall proposal that I just presented to you before. In this sense, the IP template for the call 2015, which is already on the website and will be distributed to all of you immediately after the sneak preview, and also to all that has registered and to the stakeholders consultation platform, is structured in 4 parts. The first part is presenting just the general and technical information about the project, introducing, of course, partners, the leader, contributors, different roles, and expected task, deliverable, and milestone. According to that, there is the need to fill in the second part of the template, which is on the economics of the project itself. It is trying to provide information which then will be important, not just for the submission of the proposal, but also for the monitoring of the activities to be performed by the implementation initiative. There are different cost categories, of course, which are the one considered eligible for funding by European Union, and there are information on performance impact on the basis of a self-assessment to be performed by the candidate partners, and the other impacts. The other impact section is covering some information which are essential to populate the fields of the party. Social impact, maturity of the action, governance structure of your project, everything which is then useful for us to present to the INEA the maturity of the initiative and to present to INEA how we will work together successfully to execute the project itself. These are the requirements. Now, how we can work together, which will be the SDM support. First of all, we would like to stress again, I would like to stress again that We need to comply with the deployment program, which will be the reference for all the implementation initiative. The version, the DP 2015, which has been approved, is being approved by European Union. We have to ensure that the proposal is complete and is addressing all formal requirements by INEA and by the call, not just technical one, but administrative, legal, and financial. And we have to meet the deadline, which is mid-February 2016, which could seem as a long period from now, but it is not. Believe me, the experience that we have last year, entering in the arena once the call was launched in December, just shown that number of issues has to be faced in a very tight agenda. So the fact that we share the objective together and we are all on the same page, aligned with a single process, will facilitate all of us to participate to that. Why? Because it is really a complex process for you to enter in and for the SDM to coordinate. Due to a number of factors. First of all, the number of implementing partners which are expected to participate to the call, both civil and military. The large and heterogeneous set of information we have to collect, and the need to seek member states' endorsement for all the proposal, which will imply, in substance, reduction of the time frame available for the elaboration of the proposal. Normally, member states will ask around 4 weeks to get the endorsement. So if it is mid-February, then the deadline will be around 15-20 January. We will see the defined deadline we are proposing. However, this is a very complex process. And now, what we will do for you, first of all, following the presentation and the information that we will share in the next slides concerning the type of information to be provided, and in particular, the process flow we have to follow, you will receive a guidance material which will support you in all the details of the process to be followed, and will provide you on the information concerning the preparation of the application, specific information for each of the sections of the proposal, the submission procedures, which some of you already know probably, is both on a website through the web platform of TNT, and in physical packaging of all the administrative documents. And the supporting tools that we have were elaborated for you to coordinate and to prepare the work, as well as the introduction to the next phase in case of a successful proposal, so the SGA preparation and the execution phase. We will have also a list of action for all the participants, including CESAR deployment manager, and the annexes, which are quite important because it includes all the templates necessary to be filled in by all candidates, applicants to participate to the process, and according to the INEA request and according to the SDM process flow, which I will introduce to you in a few minutes. We have created a dedicated email address, which will be the official communication flow for each of the candidates during the overall CEF call process. We will have a question and answer section on our website dedicated to the call for proposal preparation. Major question will be updated, are already there today, and will be updated every 2 weeks. We also have prepared videos, as you will see, and on DP content and FPA responses preparation. Why I mentioned the video that you have already seen? Because I'm sure that you are not the only one that have to participate to the preparation phase within your organization. There will be a number of your colleagues that need to understand what is going on and why they are asked to provide information to who else, the SDM, and why. So the fact that they understand the concept, the context they are moving in, and why they have some pressure in terms of timing, will facilitate you in participate to the process and us in preparing the proposal. So the suggestion is for you all to share the videos that we are presenting today within your organization. It will help you in create the right environment and to support you in governing the process. Then, you know, there is the CESAR Deployment Manager website, and in particular on the website, we are creating a new repository where you will find all the information. We will try to avoid the use of long emails that we used in the past, and to have a more efficient storage of information. But of course, we have to comply with different requirements. So publicity of the information which refers to the overall process and refers also to INEA call, text, template, and so on. But a restricted part where all the sensitive information you will provide us will be available only for those that are credentialed to access to that. Of course, DM and the respective owner of the information. For this, the repository will be structured in two separate sections. One public with the call documentation, the guidelines, the question and answer, and the roadmap, the overall time frame, the Gantt chart of the activities we have to work together. And a restricted part which will be created, one for each of the action proposal we will create together, each of the cluster that will be created to submit proposal together, so that only those that are participating to a single cluster will enter the information related to that. And more than that, since you are providing us with information that can be considered sensitive, in particular financial information, but not just that one, within each of the working place, reserved for a specific action, there will be a separate folder for the uploading of your organization documents, which have to be accessible only for you and a deployment manager. How it will work? As a matter of fact, we have to work together. So we cannot just receive information and that's all. We have to interact with you. We will be at your disposal for clarification, meetings, and as mentioned by Massimo, please ask us what you need. We are trying to set up a common process, but we know that there are different levels of maturity of implementing stakeholders vis-à-vis the CEF call for proposal and the CEF process as a whole. So please help us in helping you. But the general process that we have to follow is based on an iterative approach, which is mainly needed for the part D, the technical part, and the resulting budget, and the part A, B, C, which are the administrative part of proposal. Now I'm entering the very, very boring part of the proposal, not because the previous one was the most exciting. However, please follow me in this information because it will help you once we will start to work together properly. We will receive your IP template, and on the basis of the IP template, we will elaborate a general proposal. First of all, a clustering of proposal, and on the basis of this, the technical proposal. And we will also upload comments and contribution on IP. On the basis of the second draft of the IP, we will have a second draft, a second technical version of the proposal. Again, comments on the IP template and comments from you to the technical part that we are proposing, because it is a bilateral flow between us. It's not just that you are receiving information or receiving recommendation or guidance, but we are here also to receive your input on how to better present the general proposal. On the basis of that, we will have a third and final version to be uploaded on the repository, where all the implementing partners participating to that which have to be approved by all participating partners. So there are, in general, 3 iterations closing with the approval from the implementing partners. And I want to stress again that is a bilateral process when we provide you with recommendation on IP template, and you also support us in the technical description of the overall proposal. On the administrative side, the process is a little bit less complex in terms of number of iterations. We, of course, send to you guidance requesting documents, and first of all, we would like to receive in scanned copies, so to double-check what you are producing, if it is in line with the request, if it is or not corresponding to the requirements of the call. And on the basis of that, and on the comments, we will ask you to provide the original documents, and then producing the overall Part A, B, C, which are summarizing the administrative and legal requirements of a specific call. These are the iterative process, but how they will place in time in our cooperation for the next month. First, please note that we have tried to organize the work considering sufficient time for the two parts to work. So from SDM to produce comments to you and for you to join us in understanding the general proposal. The launching event is the call publication, which is expected, still tentative, on the 4th of November. And the first line of activities is the IP template finalization. As I mentioned to you, there are a number of iterations, but the first point for us is the IP template finalization. We will start just today. We can also not wait for the 4th of November, but the final expected IP template from you is due to the 16th of December. On the basis of the information we will elaborate the technical and financial part of the proposal, which will take a little bit more time, of course, to complete the 3 iterations, and will be closed on the 20th of January. Why the 20th of January? Because we want to have sufficient time to provide information to member states for them to endorse. So the key date is the 20th January for the presentation to the member states of the level of information they need to endorse proposal. In parallel, we will also perform the collection and preparation of the administrative and legal part of proposal. This part will be uploaded on the E10 Tech tool for the member states to endorse. Following the endorsement, there will be the finalization part, which will take some time. It can take some more times for revising technical minor elements and to collect remaining information from all of you. And we will be ready to submit on the 15th of February, still a tentative date. Of course, this roadmap is based on the assumption that we have shared up to now concerning both publication and deadline of the proposal, of the call. If there will be any change, the roadmap will be adapted. But as you will see, it's quite a complex, high-level roadmap, and the complexity is more if you enter in the details of what we have to do. So first of all, we are here on the 29th of October with our sneak preview, and we have to see how we will reach the end of 2015. First of all, we wait for the call publication, and we ask you to upload on the repository that will be ready following the call publication by the 13th of November. It will be the first draft of the IP template, which means the first draft of the description of your implementation initiative to be provided, possibly completed in all the fields. Of course, it will be implemented and improved in the further iteration, but please try to fill it up since the beginning in all its elements. On the basis of this, what will be our role? First of all, to comment and to provide you comments and recommendations on your IP template, which will be uploaded on the 27th of November. And starting on the basis of the IP template, the definition of the clustering, how the different IP template will be put together in a specific single action proposal. and at the same time to launch the preparation of the technical part of the proposal. On the basis of the we will of course wait for the INEA Info Day on the 30th of November and the second Info Day that we will have on the 1st of December to show you the next steps to better provide you with support tailored to the status of the action at the time of the 1st of December. On the basis of the comments that you will receive on the 27th of November, you will be asked to provide a new version of your implementation initiative description through the IP template, second draft, due by 4th of December. On this basis, we will work and we will upload the first technical proposal on the 9th of December. And we will start also the cost effectiveness analysis, which is one of the requirements of the call for the overall proposal in line with the PCP references. We also elaborate the final assessment, the final recommendation for your projects, which will be ready on the 11th of December. According to that, you will be asked to upload on the web repository the final version of your IP template on the 16th of December, and together to provide your comments on the first version of the technical proposal and on the budget. Both elements will go together. On the 22nd of December, we will upload, on the basis of your comments, the second version of the general part of the description of the action, part D, including budget. So, what will happen afterwards? We will wait your comments to the second draft of the general technical proposal, which are due by 11th of January. We will finalize in the same time also the cost effectiveness analysis, and we, on the basis of your comments, SDM will elaborate and upload on the 15th of January the version 3. You may remember we have 3 iterations. The third one is for approval. So this is we are here on the 15th of January. You will receive the third version of the technical proposal, and you can provide comments on that approval by the 19th of January. Why? Because on the 20th, as I mentioned before, we have to prepare and distribute to all the member states the information they need for the endorsement, which are an abstract of the general proposal, the list of implementing projects where the relevant members are participating in, the overall budget, and the budget for the member states. And on the 21st of January, we expect that you will contact, but you should anticipate this contact, of course, with your member states to present the initiative and to get their endorsement. We have then to the IP and the member states to provide the endorsement by the 10th of February, because on that date we have to finalize the E10 submission for the technical part, so to have packaging and shipping of the original part of the proposal, part A, B, C, to European Union through INEA agency. This is the technical part of the roadmap. Now we are in administrative one, which is quite a little bit, it's easier. Still, there are some dates which are important. Of course, you will receive all the information, and all the presentation will be available on the website, and the roadmap and the guidance material will be rendered available in the repository. We cannot just send out the guidance material right now, so if this is your expectation, because we have to wait for the call publication. We should wait for, of course, for the final deadlines, also for the final call text and application form. So the SDM, as I mentioned before, following call publication, will provide you with the guidance on proposal elaboration. But the guidance, of course, are covering both technical and administrative part. you will start to work at that time on the preparation of all the information on administrative and legal side which are necessary and required by INEA. We would like to simplify and to support you in all these steps. However, there are requirements, formal requirements, which come from the European Union, and we cannot just escape to that. If you start on the 12th of November, which is the expected date for us to receive and for you to provide us with the information, is 9th of December. We would like to receive, we expect to receive your administrative and legal documents in scanned copy so that we can check and support you in providing the right one. On the basis of that, we will start preparing the administrative part of proposal, part A, B, and C. And then we will feedback, of course, on the information that you have provided us, and we will feedback you by 16th of December. And on the 16th of December, in fact, you will see uploaded our information on the repository, and also uploaded the proposal on the ETN-Tech. What I mean by uploaded the proposal on the ETN-Tech, just the creation of the application form, not the full population of the forms, which will be, of course, based on the further steps of the technical and administrative roadmap. On the 22nd of December, we expect to receive from you, so from the 9th to the 22nd, all the original documents, so that we can package that, start organizing the formal administrative parts. It can be considered in advance, but please consider that last year, the administrative part of a single cluster, there were 3 clusters coordinated with the participation of the DM, was something like a pile of documents like this. And it was only 43 members. And the overall amount on investment is not comparable to the one that we have received today as indication of interest from you. So this anticipation is really important for you to follow up all the steps and for us to get organized to support you better on the technical side and administrative side. So on the 15th of January, on the basis of all the originals that you have prepared and provided us, we will submit part A, B, and C on the ETN. We will upload part A, B, C on the ETN-Tech. And why it is important, this deadline? Because on the 20th, your member states have to start looking at document for endorsement. And therefore, this deadline, the availability of all information by this day, it's essential for them to start looking at the proposal. Then we have the request for the member states' endorsement on the 20th of January, as I mentioned before, to be provided by the 10th of February, 5 days in advance to the expected 10th date of submission of proposal, so that from the 10th to the 15th we can package, ship all the proposal to INEA, both on submitting formally on ETN-Tech tool technical part and physically packaging and shipping all the administrative part of all proposals. So on the 15th of February, we will be at the Blue Star, the first one, the proposal submission. As I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, and as it has been mentioned by Massimo, the SDM is here to support you not just in a specific part of your implementation initiative, but in the overall life cycle of your project, since proposal preparation to the project execution. So we will be your partners, your coordinator, and we will assist you in all these steps. So let's work together and let's deliver together in being successful for the CEF CALL 2015. Thank you.
Di Giovanni. Grazie. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already sent us your questions, thoughts, and comments, now is definitely the time to do so. You've all been provided with iPads to contact our production team backstage. You've heard and seen the presentation. You will now be given about 5 minutes to discuss things with your friends and colleagues, your table mates, and then in the final 5 minutes, send us whatever questions may arise. We will see you all again in 5 minutes when our team has been given the time to process and assess the answers we will be providing you in about 5 minutes. So I will see you then.
Are you still alive? Someone is falling asleep? No, please. You believe that probably this is a questions session for you to us. Actually, I want to see if you were paying attention to Paola's presentation. I will ask you. I will interview you if you are able to answer to our questions. Of course, I'm joking. Let me enter into this question and answer sessions between me and my Deputy Managing Director, which is Nicola Varisco, all of you know very well. I would like to start, before going into the single questions that we received, I would like to address several questions, so I want to group all of them instead of showing on the screen. One general statement. We received some questions about the flexibility for some country to be adapted to the general timescale that Paola presented to you. The answer is that no. We presented this timescale to your state member states into the Single Sky Committee. We are going to present it to the CEF Coordination Committee. DG Move already informed at the Single Sky Committee in any kind of environment your state representative about this timescale. And please, it's also up to you to put in place any kind of good preparation of acceptance by your state and your representative at the state. At the moment, we didn't receive any opposition to the time frame that we know is challenged, but in a nutshell, your state representative will have something like 3 weeks to endorse the proposals. Let's go ahead, please, with the questions. Nicola, would you say hello? Hello to someone.
Yes, you hear me. Hello and good afternoon to you. I was in the back room during the first session, and I must say I'm impressed by the number and the quality of the question that we have received. Also by the level of detail you have addressed through your questions, which shows that indeed you are ready to apply into the next call, and we take it as a very positive signal. Now, Massimo, you can go with
Yes, I will start
question.
and I will leave Nicola answer to other questions. I will start with the question we received. Will there be 80-20% ratio for PCP, no PCP? Technically, I learned that is part A and part B of the call. Actually, this is an indicative. ratio. Yes, it is like this right now, but depends on the evolutions of the assessment and then after the evaluations by the commission of the projects. But as an indication, we can go 80-20, but it's not a fixed limit. We can be a little bit flexible on that. There is flexibility as it happened into the 2014 call, actually. Next question, please. Okay, is there any indication of the eligibility of cost? It's easy, you can read the question. Differently from the 2014 call, for the call 2015, the eligibility will start from the date of presentations of projects. There's no exceptions to that. So the day after you present your projects, that will be fixed as the eligible date to start be co-funded. Correct? Go ahead, next question. Nicola.
Next question, please. Sorry, you have to speak louder, please.
Okay, I still do not understand the answer to the question.
Which one?
About the date of submission.
Eligibility.
The date of eligibility.
Okay.
You said when we submit it. Is it when we give it to you as DM, or is it the day in February when
Go.
you
It's okay.
give it to
Go. Thank you very much for the question.
So to be clear, it is when the proposals are submitted to INEA. So it's not when you will upload your projects into the DM, it is really when the proposals will be submitted to INEA. So according to what Paola presented to you earlier, it's around or even on the 15th of February next year. So I take the next question. It's about our role for the non-PCP. And on that, I really want to make it clear from the beginning, we have no role and no mandate outside the PCP. So when we make distinctions between part A and part B of the call, for us, part A is our business and part B is not. Very clear. So next question, please. About coordination fees. There are questions about the partners that will join already in the call 2014 and then later in the call 2015, the framework partnership. There is a coordination fee, you're all aware of that. There was information note back to February this year on our website about coordination fee, and now that those who are going to sign the SGA 2014 have seen and read the ICA, they are even more aware. This coordination fee is the same for every partner. It is a percentage of the grant they received as an implementing partner, and there is no difference between the new one, the old one, the future one, or those who are also members of the DM. It's all the same, fair and transparent rule. Next question. So yes, it's required to resubmit, to keep it short. I try to take maximum of questions. So next question, please. So the project's proposal are expected to be submitted using the template. Yes, indeed. And it's very important that you follow this template and you, to the maximum possible extent, fill it, the template, from the beginning so that we avoid to have too many loops between you and us that could delay the early stage of the process. Two more questions, I'm being told. So next question, please. So the process to apply to the CEF funds and cohesion funds different. A priori, it is the same. What is still unsure is whether there will be one call or two calls. But the timeline presented by Paola is the same, that's for sure. Depending on whether it will be one call or two different calls, it connects with other questions we have received, whether you can submit in the same project, in a combined manner, activities that would cross between cohesion and non-cohesion states. This question we will only be able to answer when we will know exactly the nature and the structure of the call. So we can not answer today, we park the question, you will find the answer on our website after. Next question, please. So the states. The states will have a say, as any time I would say in such a call. They will endorse the proposal, but after aggregation and preparation by the DM. As explained by Paola in her presentation, you saw the roadmap, and here I'm back to this key date mentioned by Massimo, which is 20th of January 2016. This is the date by which the proposals prepared by the DM in coordination, in full coordination with you, will be submitted to the states. So yes, the states will have a say, and the say is coming in the last 3 weeks, endorsement, in fact, to use the keyword, endorsements coming in the last 3 weeks before the deadline of the call. Finished. So I stop there. Many other questions, you will find them on our website with written answer. And again, thank you for your active participation. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and I believe that now we are going to have other presentations. Please.